Okay, so now I'm going to discuss the mediator pattern. This is really simple. And we're going to use an analogy for the mediator pattern, okay? The analogy is going to be, imagine you're organizing a team building activity for a group of people. The participants are divided into smaller teams, and each team has a specific task to complete. To ensure effective communication and coordination among the teams, you appoint a facilitator as the mediator. So here's how the analogy relates to the mediator pattern. Loose coupling. In this scenario, the teams represent individual components or objects in our software system. The mediator acts as a central point of communication, allowing the teams to interact without indirectly depending on each other. Okay, the teams don't need to know the details about how the team works. They communicate through the mediator. The mediator facilitates, oversees the team building activity, providing instructions, clarifications, and ensuring smooth coordination. They act as a central controller, managing the flow of information and making sure the teams collaborate effectively. Simplify communication. Instead of teams directly communicating with each other, the mediator handles the communication. When a team needs to exchange information or request assistance, they send the message to the mediator, who relays it to the intended recipient team. This simplifies the communication process, as teams only need to know how to communicate with the mediator. Encapsulates complexity. The mediator abstracts away the complexity of team interactions. Individual teams focus on their assigned tasks, relying on the mediator to handle the details of coordinating with other teams. The mediator encapsulates the coordination logic, allowing the teams to work independently without worrying about the complexity of inter-team communication. Flexibility and extensibility. As the activity progresses, you can easily add or remove teams without affecting the overall coordination. The mediator adapts to the changing team composition, enabling seamless integration of new teams or modification of existing old ones. This flexibility and extensibility make the team building activity more scalable and adaptable. Just as the mediator facilitates effective communication and coordination among teams in the analogy, the mediator pattern in software development provides a structured approach to manage interactions between components or objects. It reduces dependencies, simplifies communication, and centralizes control, making the system more maintainable and extensible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create basically two views, a sender view and a receiver view, and they're both going to communicate with each other through the mediator. I'm going to make an instance of them and show that communication in the content view. So, and this is just very simple, but the way I explain it, you will see how you can expand on it, right? So I'm going to say this before I even get started. I've watched so many videos on mediator design pattern and SwiftUI, and they're all confusing. These people, I think that they're like trying to talk over one else's head. They're trying to be obtuse. I swear to God, because I can't make heads or tails of it. And I understand the mediator design pattern, right? So hopefully I'm breaking this down to you so it's not going over your head unnecessarily, right? Plus, the file is going to be on GitHub for download, so you can download it, break it down, and look at it yourself. So let's get down to business. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to create a file called mediator, right? And no. Yeah, I'm going to create a file called Mediator. And Mediator is going to have a lot of stuff in it, right? Right. And but it's not just going to have the Mediator class. The file's going to be called Mediator, but I'm also going to have the object for the sender view and the receiver view, right? Mediator. Okay. So I have this thing called Mediator right here. Okay. And let's get down to business. So instead of saying foundation, I'm going to say Swift UI, right? And we'll have our first class. It will be called Mediator, right? And this will be of type observable object. I kind of explained the observable object back in the beginning of the Viper or one of the other tutorials. And observable object, publishing, and observed and their relationship together, right? So you should be familiar with this. Observable objects, right? I'm gonna create a publisher. This is familiar. This is old. Publish, publish. Var message. This is old. This is old hat for you guys. If you've been following these last 4 or 5 tutorials, you know what time it is. Okay. So now I have that. Now I'm going to create a function, right? This function is going to say send message. Okay. Message, right? String. And that's it right there. And we're going to do this self dot message. And I don't want this, right? Right, it's not the same type. Message. Those are the same type. So this is our mediator. Okay, now let me see what the heck. Observed object. Object requires arguments. No, it doesn't. What the hell are you talking about? Well, there's one mistake I made, right? So I said observed object. Supposed to be hate when it does that. Observable. Right? Sheesh. Observable. Right. Get out of my face. Get bad at the code. Right. So now let's go ahead, guys. You have a struct call. Let me get some water real quick. Struct call sender view. Then sender view. Right. Right. Okay. Get some water. So sender view, and so I'm going to create an at environment, right? Environment object. Okay. Var mediator. I'm going to explain at environment. Actually, I probably think I did in one of my other tutorials, but I'll explain it again one of these days. Okay. But let's go ahead and get through this. Mediator. Okay. Now I need to fix this error that's coming through, right? So it has to conform to the view, right? Which means let's say var body, right? Var body, colon some view v stack text. Okay. I'm sending you a message. Okay, right. B-U-T-T button. Right. Send message. Okay. Okay. So now that I have this, and of course I have access, let's go ahead and create the function where we send the message because the function is already created, right? So I've created an instance of mediator, environment object, right? Let's go. Mediator dot send message, right? And this message should be uh um hello, the message is sent. And of course you can do it through it, create a text field or whatever that talks to this mediator, right? So now I'm sending the message. Let's create a receiver now, okay? Receiver view, right? And it's very simple. See, struct. We're almost done. This is, I hate to say, this is so much, makes a hell of a lot more sense than protocol delegate pattern for objects to communicate with each other. It really does. I prefer this way. It's way better, right? Because that can become convoluted real fast. And I'm gonna be honest, it took me a long time to understand delegate pattern, protocol delegate pattern. That's obtuse, man. Anyway, mediator, right? Mediator, okay. Oh man, this makes life so much easier. Now let's go ahead and say var body. We need to get rid of this. All right, get rid of there. Some view. Right now we're done with that. The error should go away. V stack. Right, we got V stack, and then we'll say text. Right, and I'll say this is the receiver view, right? So we got the receiver view here. I'm gonna create another text, right? Text. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, and then we say message from sender. Message from sender is, and this should simply be, right, mediator dot message. Okay, now this should throw no errors, right? Okay, succeeded. Sorry about that. 5. So now let's go to our content view, right? And let's go ahead and this is very simple. Very simple. Check this out. So I'm going to create a state object, right? At state object var, you guessed it, mediator, right? Because we want our mediator to talk to this content view, right? Display everything, mediator. Okay. Equals what? Mediator. Okay. State object mediator, and now I can get rid of this right here, and I can say sender view, right? Receiver view, right? Okay. And now instead of saying just padding, I can say dot environment object, right? Environment object. And what is it? Mediator. Right? That's our environment object. Okay. Now this should okay, we build. Now let's go ahead and run it. And you see right here in our preview is taking its sweet time, man. Okay, so I basically had to restart my computer to get the simulator to run. But we finished up all our coding and I got this going, and here's the simulator. And this is this right here. This content view right here. Okay, the sender view, environment object, mediator, and this is the sender view up here and the receiver view, right? And now I send the message, and it should come down here to this receiver view down here. Message from sender is hello. The message is sent. That's all I wanted to do. So basically, you can see that this mediator using the mediator, which is here. This is the mediator. We can communicate between these two, right? And we use the mediator as the go-between. Observable object, published variable. Each view in the loop has an environment variable that is the mediator, right? And then you know, and the functionality within each one of these that uses this value. Okay, the sent value and the receive value. And if worse come to worse, you could also send the value back, right? And have it be received over here, right? That's how flexible it is. So much more flexible than dealing with delegate protocols. Okay. So yes, download the project from GitHub, and I'm on to the next.